there are no strong associations for Ayurveda, Unani, or Siddha, or homeopathy, or naturopathy. And I wish they all come under one umbrella so that their voice is single, and during times of epidemics, they can also raise their voice as an IMA. The traditional Chinese medicine practitioners, they are respected in their community. There are allopathic doctors also who practice. There are allopathic doctors who also write Chinese medicine, and they who refer to Chinese medicine very happily. That's not the case with India. And I'm simply moved by the state of our countrymen who still don't understand what medicine is, who still don't understand why do you fall sick. Ayurveda and Siddha and Saugaribba was a medicine which has been taking care of the country till the independence, 1947. What is wrong with continuing the practice? And why are our own countrymen against this practice? If you are feeling sorry that Ramdev ji was asked to apologize for that reason, don't feel sorry. You should feel sorry for having let down the Ayush community for 75 years.
Namaste and welcome to Sangam Talks. Today in conversation we have Dr. G. Meera. Namaste ma'am. Namaste doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. Dr. G. Meera is the head of Ayush Research Innovations and the founder at Sri Hariyam Ayurveda. She is the only woman to have been elected as the director at IMCOPS, the Indian Medical Practitioners Cooperative Pharmacy and Stores Limited from Tamil Nadu. Under her efforts, IIT Madras and IMCOPS have signed an MOU for research on sensors. She held the position of lecturer at the Sri Jayendra Saraswati Ayurveda College, Chennai. She is also the first doctor to have done telemedicine during COVID for the Anand Hospital at Meerut. Through her initiative, Jnana Varshini Trust, they have honored 33 Ayush doctors for their service. This event was graced by His Excellency Honorable Shri R.N. Ravi, the Governor of Tamil Nadu, on December 14th, 2023, and this marked a historical event. So the first question I would like to start with is, could you please introduce us to what Ayush is and how it is different and similar to the IMA? And if you can touch upon the main similarities and the differences between the two, please.
See, you asked me a question. Ayush, it was an acronym. Now they've told that they are removing the acronym. Still, this word is it's used as a single word by the government of India. It stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. Siddha and also Saugaribba. And all traditional systems of medicine that have been in practice in India since thousands of years. These all come under this one umbrella called as Ayush. Although Unani is not native to India, I'm very happy to tell that it is the country of Sanatanam. We accept anything which is good and which is important to humanity. I am also proud to tell that it was our country, which is the only country in the whole world, to have even encouraged Unani COVID care centers. The language, Urdu, we have been patronizing the language and the medicinal tools which are hidden in it. Although we never probably took up an emergency case, you will not even find it in other Muslim nations.
Right.
So even in Pakistan, where prominent Ayurveda and Unani Vaidyas are still there, you will not find a COVID care center there. So this I'm very proud and I'm happy that, and I would want our country to continue in the same line. And Saugaribba, Tibetan medicine. So all these practitioners, we have colleges of BAMS teaching them, Bachelor of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery, 5.5-year course. We have Siddha medicine. These are all, we have exams, NEET, and people take up NEET and then join either of these streams of medicines.
Right.
So this is the term. Ayush signifies the traditional medicines which are in practice. Again, homeopathy, it had its root in Germany, and we are the one who are patronizing it. Whichever has got some potential of cure and healing to the body, we accept and practice in India. And we can wear a white coat, we can wear a stethoscope, we can take BP, we can write for blood tests, and address the patients with these specific medicines, unless and until there is an emergency.
Right.
In emergency, you are allowed to use allopathic medicines. probably with the help of allopathic doctors, which is
Right.
still unclear in many of the states. Many of the states have got their own rules. Let's go into the depth of understanding those politics
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But now Ayush stands for these systems of medicine.
Wonderful. And to the second part of the question.
IMA. See, IMA is an Indian Medical Association.
Yes.
Ayush can be combined with MBBS.
Okay.
Ayush is the with allopathy.
Right.
Yeah, Ayush is a system of medicine, and allopathy is a system of medicine.
Right.
IMA is a association of allopathic doctors.
Right.
Like Ayurveda has got its own association,
Hmm.
like Siddha has got its own association.
Hmm.
It is a very beautiful association. You need to have association so that you work for the wellness of your system of doctors.
Definitely.
So going into an IMA's website, I'm very, very happy that it's well maintained. They've worked for the demands of allopathic doctors, their wellness, because you find patients taking, in Kerala and all, we found how they question the allopathic doctors to such an extent in emergency. They sue the allopathic doctors.
Oh,
To protect their rights, these associations exist.
definitely.
And I wish Ayush also gets an association as strong as IMA because, see, IMA is special in India, I would tell, because almost they have 12 to 13 lakhs of allopathic doctors
Hmm.
who all speak under one head called IMA. They all
Right.
get registered into
Right,
this.
right.
So they all have a single voice. Although many allopaths may not accept to the IMA's voice, they have a single voice, so they can easily speak with the government for their demands.
Right.
Or when there is an issue, they immediately give up their voice. That's not the case with Ayush doctors.
Okay.
Ayurveda doctors, everybody, there are no strong associations for Ayurveda, Unani or Siddha or homeopathy or naturopathy. And I wish they all come under one umbrella so that their voice is single, and during times of epidemics, they can also raise their voice as an IMA. They can work for the welfare of the doctors and the patients. The difference for IMA and Ayush system again is, see, IMA is supported by Western pharmaceutical companies, most of the
Right.
allopathic pharmaceutical companies, or even Indian pharmaceutical companies,
Right.
which means you all know that they have a bigger world, they have a bigger market, so they have large profits, and they can give more share to the doctors to help them in their profession. Again, legally, the government is passing lots of rules so that the allopaths or Ayush physicians don't misuse this
Right.
getting of percentage and write wrong prescriptions. These are all the things which are going behind the scene. There are plenty of issues. So I wish IMA, strong associations arise for every segment in the society as
Right.
IMA, as they work for the welfare of their selves
Right.
and the society.
Wonderful. So that leads to the next question. Is there anything like a regulation which is common to both Ayush as well as IMA? Some sort of act that has been given by the government? If you
No,
could-
see, we are in a very, very fluid state of
Right.
devising and changing laws of medicine in India. Very tough state the government is going through. And it is different from traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine in the country of China, they have accepted Chinese medicine from day one. Thankfully, they didn't have a British rule. You understand? So, although they were welcoming to allopathic medicines, they have their own allopathic market. For that matter, many of the starters of chemicals of allopathic medicines we import from China.
Right.
Okay. But they had never, as people of China, they've never gone voiced against Chinese medicine.
Right.
They've always been welcoming the traditional Chinese medicine practitioners. They are respected in their community. There are allopathic doctors also who practice. There are allopathic doctors who also write Chinese medicine and who refer to Chinese medicine very happily. That's not the case with India. So you were asking me whether there are laws that are common to these.
Yes.
Till date, as we see with the case of IMA against Patanjali Baba Ramdev ji, and as the Supreme Court is addressing both these people, means IMA and Patanjali Ramdev ji, and looking at our country, Indians, voicing one for allopathy and one for Ayush system, I feel the country which has given birth to Gita, Bhagavad Gita, is still in Ajnanam.
Oh. Okay.
Gita was born in India. Krishna had given his words, not probably, it was because there was an Ajnani called Arjuna. Arjuna will again fall into Ajnanam. Karpanyata will,
Right.
it keeps coming back again and again. And I'm bitter and I'm overwhelmed And I'm simply moved by the state of our countrymen
Mm-hmm.
who still don't understand what medicine is,
Right.
who still don't understand why do you fall sick.
Mm.
The country, remember one thing, our country is the most populous nation in the whole world.
Yeah.
You're proud of it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you get a country, can a country exist for a millennia
Mm.
having such a populous, growth in number of people,
Mm.
if they did not have any health?
Yeah.
If Ayush was the medicine, Ayurveda and Siddha and Saugaribba was the medicine, which has been taking care of the country till the independence, 1947,
Mm.
what is wrong with continuing on the practice?
Right.
And why are our own countrymen
Mm.
against this practice? When you look
Right.
at the YouTubes and discussions, our own allopathic doctors, you get moved and emotional. We have so many allopathic doctors suing Ayurvedic medicines, like our friend Dr. Cyril Joseph from Kerala. He has put plenty of cases on Ayurvedic medicines.
Mm.
You get too emotional for your system of medicine. You think the other person, see, you have competition in every branch,
Right.
right? You work in an office for some time, even at home, the husband and wife, the man and the female, right? The man thinks that he's the best. The woman thinks that he's the best. The daughter-in-law, the brother and sister. And this is a conflict of ego. This is always there. You can never get over this. But you shouldn't go to an extent that it blinds your eye of what is what.
Okay.
So that I feel the fight between the allopathic doctors and Ayush doctors,
Mhm.
which had ensued and which is still continuing, and for how the common man voices each system as to thinking that, did you win? Can you treat an emergency? I am not
Yeah.
claiming that you get me a case of emergency, I'm going to operate yourself, I'm going to do a cesarean,
Right.
or bring me a fractured bone, I'm going to just sew it in minutes. I'm not going to tell that I'm doing a robotic surgery on you, and with my mind I'm going to cure you. No, I'm not going to. I'm not telling that I can have these capacities. But what can I do?
Hmm.
Why can't we just sit and analyze? Why can't we
Okay.
just sit and discuss? What can I? What can't I? What can you? What can't you? This is the way I expected during COVID. IMA and Ayush system, we don't have an association. That's the issue. And there is least patronization of Ayush medicine in India. I'm not questioning the government or the public or the media for this, but we will discuss about this.
Yeah.
The least patronization because of time. We can only blame time for this. Okay, so there are no common laws which are governing IME, the allopathic and Ayurvedic medicine as such, to address the differences,
Right.
to enable efficient practice of this. But India is working towards it, and
Right.
our Prime Minister has told that by 2040 integration will be complete.
Hmm.
All India Institute of AIMS.
Mhm.
See, people who look at this discussion as an Ayurvedic doctor who are just shouting at me, telling that you just go to your home and you need not give an interview at all, you're not fit to practice. I wish to tell them, India has already passed a legislation. We have already legalized integrated practice at certain emergency cases. All India Institute of Medicine AIMS. It has started teaching Ayush system of medicine to its doctors. All India Institute of Medicine has started its Ayush wing. And there are many wings which are being opened in AIMS.
Right.
AIMS, which is an allopathic college. And there's a very, very important information which I would like to share with North Indians or the IMA or even the judges or even the parliamentarians or even the common man who don't know what has happened in Tamil Nadu. You can speak about this. Apollo Hospitals has taken over an Ayurveda, has gone into an agreement, and it has got bought shares from an Ayurvedic hospital which is called Ayurved. Kindly go and Google. There's no need for any more fight between who is great, are you or am I, between allopathy and Ayush system or the common man.
Right.
Already an allopathic hospital has got, to my knowledge, 65% stake in Ayurveda. They have opened they already were practicing Ayurveda within their hospitals. Now they have dedicated Ayush hospitals. Go and look at Apollo's medical shops. You will find turmeric, you will find jaggery, you will find all dates and all herbs, ashwagandha, giloy, satavari juice, which is being sold. So you
While, ma'am, this is giving one side of the picture, there is also another side where we look at the happenings in the courts, the judgments. Especially, there is this big conversation around the Magic Remedies Act and how Patanjali was in the middle of it. Can you share some of your thoughts on that whole issue? While you're saying there is so much support and integration on political will on one side, why is there a lot of challenges happening on the other from the the Supreme Court and the judges and advocates?
see, I am a proud Indian. I believe that democracy is in its 100% practice in our country. I respect the Supreme Court, I respect the politicians, I respect the media and the common man. But as I tell you, there is ignorance in all these aspects.
Okay.
I am unhappy with the media. I am unhappy with the legislation. I am unhappy with also the justice. And I'm also unhappy with the common man.
Okay.
There is complete ignorance. Okay. So, because of many reasons, right? Different unfocused rule, unfocused thought processes, unfocused policy making of different governments. Look at the different states. Are we all working, even the legislations or even the judicial judgments? Is it all common in between one state and the other? The best example of Patanjali Baba Ramdev ji's case. You analyze the case for the past 20 years and his upbringing and who is Ramdev, you will understand what is India and what is Bharat. What are we standing for? It's a fantastic case which every Indian should learn, irrespective of whether you respect Ayurveda or allopathy. Let's go into that later. Magic Remedies Act. This act has been modified for 8 times to my knowledge. Wow. So it was an act which was passed during the British rule. Britishers, how much did they respect Indians? How much we know that. Okay? Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles and Prince Charles' second wife and all their children, before going into what is Magic Remedies Act and how the Britishers blamed and took away the degrees of Ayurveda Vaidyas during that time, they have been on Ayurvedic and homeopathy medicine till date.
Okay.
99 years and 100 years they have lived a life. Please, my dear respected common man, understand that they've all been consuming Ayurveda. You can Google and see. Just before COVID, they came for a retreat in Bangalore for their Ayush treatments.
Oh.
They are on homeopathy medicine and Ayush treatments. They were regular visitors. Of course, he had cancer. That is different. It doesn't mean that you will not ever get ill if you're going to take Ayush. Yeah. That is different. Okay. So this was why am I telling Charles' example is this was the British rule in 1940. They had taken away, ripped off the Ayush doctors of their Vaidya degree, but they have been continuously taking Ayush medicine, and we are sticking on to this act.
So what is this act?
This act tells that you cannot make any claims of any medicine curing any illness.
Okay.
You cannot advertise that any medicine can cure any illness without proper trials or research studies. And it has got its loopholes. It has helped many a vaccine company, many allopathic companies launch their medicines. And this is the law with which the Supreme Court has addressed Patanjali's products.
Right.
So this tells that there are almost 54 diseases like thyroid, cancer, then pregnancy and other illness where you cannot advertise that your medicine can cure cancer. You understand? I accept that it has got its own positivities. Don't unnecessarily see, but the reason for this act you must understand. Don't advertise or give false claims so that the common man goes and picks up the medicine from the market. If this was the cause behind this act, if this was the thought process, I accept this. Ramdev ji has been advertising many of the cures for many medicines.
Absolutely.
I am not for such advertisements.
Right.
But has it not helped create basic awareness to this ignorant common man in India that Ayush medicines can work for these illnesses? Who will take it to the medicine? Who will take it to the masses? Can the government take it to the masses that there is some medicine for cancer? You can treat your cancer with 5,000, manage your cancerous symptoms with 5,000 rupees medicine or a lakh rupees of medicine instead of going to a chemotherapy. Who is going to take this to the masses?
Yeah.
That question is there.
Yes.
Because pharmaceutical companies compare it with the Western system of medicine. He comes and the allopathic system of medicine has very beautifully evolved in India, and I'm very happy about it because we have integrated already, and all places where allopathy doctors are going to sit, Ayush doctors are going to sit along with them.
Yes.
Then only integration is going to succeed.
Absolutely.
So you already have a model and you just have to add these Ayush medicines to them. So the common man will get the benefits of both. So for these 75 years, there was not a single Vaidya who was as strong as a pharmaceutical company to tell that these products can reach. A common man does not know. He thinks after the Britishers has come, most of the Indians started leaning towards Western thought process. Oh, westernized dresses. We've all shifted to, you common man, what do you think? Ramdev ji is standing there with a kashayam, with an orange cloth, with no dress on himself. Okay, and Bill Gates stands with a coat and fantastic glasses, shiny glasses, and a laptop, and glass doors and AC. He does headstand and all this bastrika where he shows off his abdomen. You would like to look at Salman Khan with his abs and not with Ramdev ji doing all this antics. This is the common man's thought process, okay? And a learned, all said and done, a learned man cannot look at him and accept his knowledge. We've had women, we've had our mothers who tell that he doesn't wear a cloth and I don't want to look at him. Right? Women and men also, you don't look professional. These are the complaints. So I'm very happy that we've come to this discussion.
One more usual thought is, how can a monk be a businessman or an entrepreneur?
This is why I tell you, Ramdev ji is a perfect example. The Ramdev ji's case, I don't know who he is. I have not taken many of his medicine. I don't have any franchise of his. Fantastic case for Indians to check our mentality. See, if the Western media is telling that you support Indians and you support anything saffron, is the court speaking for saffron here? No. I'm very happy that the court had asked him to ask sorry not once or twice or thrice. See, because it is not uncommon. The Ayush system of doctors, if you are feeling sorry that Ramdev ji, who has a 45,000 crore revenue, a business which could just kick off HLL, if you are feeling sorry that Ramdev ji was asked to apologize for that reason, don't feel sorry. You should feel sorry for having let down the Ayush community for 75 years. Nobody thought of what is Ayush and how important this system of medicine has been trying to help you. And this was the single man, the single guru. He has broken all myths.
Absolutely.
Because our gurus, with all due respects, I follow Ramanuja, I follow Adi Shankaracharya, I follow anybody in saffron, I follow all my gurus, I fall on their feet. But they are all caught in their own shells.
Okay.
They cannot come out of their shells. A sannyasi cannot come and speak for a grihastha. Because why does not speak? He knows that he will get caught in this trap. Swami Ramanujacharya, he had to wear the white cloth when the Mughals came to Srirangam. People mocked at him. When you have to live in this world, you have to give up. The world will mock at you. Adi Shankaracharya, he had to go and light his pyre of his mother. People mocked at him. It is the same community which is mocking at Ramdev. Because you're living in this world, doesn't a monk know to give up everything and live for his own sake? He doesn't have to appease anybody. He has his trust. He is building, he's a true nation builder. Why? See, Ramdev ji's story, where does it start? Where does he come into public glare is probably in 2003, if I'm not wrong. You had Anna Hazare ji, you had our Delhi Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal and Ramdev ji in a single dais. What were they speaking for? They were speaking against corruption. What were they speaking for? They were speaking for a strong Bharat. They wanted to do their might. They gave up food. They gave up water. They went on long fast. What happened at the end of fast? We know what has happened to Arvind Kejriwal ji. He wanted to address this in a different way. He wanted to take up active politics. Anna Hazare ji was not for active politics. He became a pure Gandhi and he's still doing his fasting at home. He's not for a public...
He's
not cannot be in public life.
Indeed.
a-
So this definitely, there's no taking away the contribution of Baba Ramdev. But in between, you had mentioned that the intention of the Remedies Act is to keep the scrutiny of the medicines from or the pharmaceutical companies from advertising
Yeah.
and promising or false
Yes.
promising.
Yes.
And but you said it was not used for that intent. The same act was not used for that particular intent in
Yes.
this particular case.
Yes.
Then what was the intent?
See, intent is to reach the masses.
Hmm.
The intent is to reach the masses. COVID comes.
Hmm.
Let us start. Why is this case between IMA and Ramdevji here in the court? That we have to understand from what time. Today's date is June 22nd, 2024. Okay? Today's state is different from what was the state of India in 2019 December, 2020 March, 2021 March. We were fighting COVID and the Indians felt let down. They were in Agyanam and they were in fear. Who will come up to save these 130 crore people?
Okay.
The government was very, very clear. See, the government has been understanding this very, very early. If you're going to look and analyze how strong our government, Modi ji government was during those times, you will understand with all their notifications which they got. January 26th, we had given the Ayush notification that you can prevent COVID by taking these kadas.
Right.
Giloy,
Hmm.
then COVID, Kabasura Kudini, Indukanta Kashayam. 3-4 tablets, Sudarshan, then arsenicum album. For every system of medicine, there was a very poorly written notice, very poorly typed notice. That I accept. I was thinking, why oh my God, why is the government in such a bad shape to give such a bad notice? But the information was there.
Right.
It was so proactive.
Yeah.
So we were
I mean,
there.
it had reached masses so much that it was distributed widely. I remember in the society,
Yes.
every day someone would come and
Yes.
give a glass of.
Yes. If you're going to tell that Baba Ramdevji was wrong with while advertising is using Ramdev's Act of his coronel, why did the government issue this?
Yeah. Hmm.
You understand? Another thing you have to make an see, I wish the Supreme Court sits and discusses. There is a difference between a parent scolding a student, scolding its child when it does a mistake. What do you think in your mind? If you're going to just shout at it, no, that is different. So you sit and discuss. Times have changed. I give lots of respect to the Supreme Court, but I don't want to, sit and tremble before the Supreme Court like you just come and, we are not hate mongers, right? So you have to sit and discuss and analyze. There is no chance of discussion in our country now. See, let me tell, so why did the government then advertise? Is it advertisement or is it information?
Right.
Let me tell you, in Baba Ramdevji's case, how the High Court's understanding of his case was different. Delhi High Court's case of understanding coronal was different. Tamil Nadu High Court's judge's understanding of coronal was different. Go on Google. In Delhi High Court, there was a case telling that Baba Ramdevji is marketing his drugs and to earn lots of money. That was the case. The High Court judge has asked, what is wrong in earning money? That was his judgment and he just took off the case.
Right.
While the same thing when it came to Tamil Nadu, the High Court judge tells Baba Ramdevji is advertising for the sake of money and hence coronal cannot be marketed in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
It was with the case where there was some other person who had registered with the name called coronal tablet. So during COVID time this was there. Two High Court judges approached the same case in two different ways.
Right.
Then where is the relief for the common man?
Yeah.
What is this? See, I think we have to relook into the whole way of what is judiciary at all. We are living in democracy. I'm confident we will change. But please relook into it. Baba Ramdevji has, I think you have to give him a Guinness record because his coronel has got a case in every state. An ophthalmologist has registered the case for Divya Pharmacy advertising as eye drops as a cure for eye diseases. See, why cannot Ayurveda medicines come under the Drugs and Medicines Act, Cosmetics Act, or how should the Cosmetics Act be modified to suit Ayurveda? This is one important point.
Yeah.
Why? Because why should it change? Because how did Ayodhya come into being? A Vedic Pandit was called, and that Acharya told that proof that Ayodhya exists in the Vedic text,
Yeah.
and hence Ayodhya has to be built, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we respect literature.
Yes.
We respect Sanskrit. We respect Tamil. We respect Urdu. We respect English literature. Sanskrit literatures are documents, and that is why Ayush doctors are allowed to practice.
Hmm.
When you're going to look at a Falashruti of a medicine, you have got a, just like every shloka has got a Falashruti.
Yeah.
We have a Falashruti for herbs. Jwaram, Rakta Pittam, Kasam, Raja Yakshma. You will have the Falashruti with 52 diseases in it. Kasam, Shwasam, you'll have many more. Many. Jwaram, Raja Yakshma. That is how coronal. That's why one medicine can be given for 50 conditions. It will tell that the Rishi will end that this condition can be given for 50 diseases. So Kanchanara Gugulu, it can be given for thyroid, Kasam, Shwasam, wherever swelling is there. How am I going to tell this to common man? I can tell that Galagandam, Gandamala, Kasam, Shwasam. Do you
No one's
understand
going to
Sanskrit?
understand. Yeah.
Sanskrit people are struggling.
Yeah.
How am I going to reach the common man? I have to tell common terms. I will tell that it can. Problem is cure should not have been used. It can be used to address.
Right. To treat.
But to
address.
treat could have been the word.
Right.
That could have been the word. Probably then it would not be a problem. So the ophthalmologist doesn't understand that there is still a case where Ramdevji should come to Kerala. He doesn't understand that eye drop, which Divya Pharmacy, he tells that it can be used to manage retinitis, other conditions, which means it will give relief to whatever extent is possible for that patient. Does all allopathic eye drops cure you of a condition? No. Problem with Baba Ramdevji's advertisement was he became everything. He became the model. See, I appreciate him and I'm very thankful to him and I'm proud and I wish his organization should not become 100-fold but should become Shatamanam or even Sahasramanam. Because he is the number one company of Ayush and I wish he has challenged Remdesivir. He has challenged the state. Okay? When Remdesivir launched his, let's go into it later. So the ophthalmologist doesn't understand that. He means to tell that it is the Falashruti which has been given in the text, which he is trying to put it in English terms because he cannot speak in Hindi. हम तो कास्ट वास ऐसे भी हम लिख सकते हैं यार, उधर जाके वो कैसे मलयालम में लिखेगा कि उनको तो पता नहीं है, तो क्या करेगा? जो पॉपुलर इंग्लिश मेडिकल टर्म्स है उसके लिए ही यूज कर रहे हैं. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो 100% क्योर हो जाएगा. तो दूसरा तरीका ढूंढना चाहिए कि उसे कैसा लिखना है, वही है.
I completely agree with you, doctor. But some of the advertisements, released by or published by Patanjali also targeted other forms of medicine, say no to chemical or not maybe medicine, but even their FMCG products. Were targeting other products that they are chemically induced or they have harmful effects. How do you? Is there any justification, or should he have ever done that? What are your thoughts about that kind of an advertisement?
After having going through COVID, I've understood that business is different, medicine is different, life is different, practice is different. Being a guru in a Vanaprastha is different. Wearing a saffron in a country like India and when you're going to face the whole world is different. I've also seen complaints against Ramdev ji about the halal certificate. I don't know whether he was given. He had to, I'm not sure. I just saw a video. I didn't have the time to seek the truth. There was a video which was blaming Ramdev ji that he had put the halal certificate on his medicines for export to the Saudi countries. And then there was one person who was telling how he fought and how he took it to the UP Chief Minister Yogi ji, and Yogi ji immediately, that's why they brought a ban on halal products and taking out the brand, and how that person, I'm not sure who it is, he helped in bringing out these misconceptions. I'm happy that that person, if it is all true, I'm happy that whatever it is. See, UP Yogi ji tells that it is the halal ban is there only for the products which are sold in India to help Indian business and not for people who are exporting. Okay, so chief ministers, we are evolving as a country. Different approaches are there. Different questions are there. Let's leave that. So, Ramdev ji cannot do everything.
Yeah.
What support does he have?
Hmm.
You understand? He could be unprofessional in some ways.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward for how evolved his advertisement is going to be.
Yeah.
If you don't want to market my medicine that I am going to cure COVID, I am happy.
Yeah.
Then how are you going to reach the products to the common man? The common man is still in ignorance. He was
Yes.
fighting ignorance.
Hmm.
Let me tell you one important. Now we are going towards integration. Apollo has got Ayurveda. Have that in mind, and we are proceeding towards that.
Hmm.
Okay. Allopathic doctors are not against Ayurveda. That the common man must know. We are working with allopathic doctors. Okay. Ramdev ji was also speaking against the drug lobby.
Okay.
He mistakenly started blaming the allopathic doctors.
Hmm.
Let me tell you, no human being has got any vengeance in his mind. No doctor would want to kill a patient wantedly.
Right.
Right? Probably there he became emotional during the COVID times.
Okay.
Who could speak for the Ayush? See, you know that you can take a coronal tablet with that 50 rupees or 100 rupee tablet. If you're going to have mild corona, mild COVID, you can get cured yourself instead of waiting for that 1.75 lakh worth remdesivir and standing in queues and dying out of no food for just waiting for medicine. That was what he was addressing.
Right.
He was addressing to the masses that you can take this coronal tablet, be safe and be at home. It gave lots of warmth to us. Did not the central government work on an Ayush preventive protocol with turmeric? What did the central government do?
Yeah.
It was giving strength to the common man. Have turmeric. Have your spices and masala at home. Be at home. Have hot water. Why did the central government need to do it?
They did do that, yes.
It was giving us the strength. The vaccine will come after 2 years.
Yeah.
We know the story of vaccine.
Yes.
I'm not against vaccination. If you want to take a vaccine, kindly go ahead. Okay, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. But you have to wait for 2 years for vaccination.
Yeah.
Can't I ask my common man, can't I ask my subject that you are a country with 1 million years of history of Ayush medicine? You're the most populous country probably because of the Ayush practices. Stay safe at home and get this 200 rupee corona kit. I think he sold 250 million worth medicine.
Oh.
Very happy. Tell me one Ayurvedic company which made so much of medicine. Which Indian medicinal company?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy that Indian allopathic companies, we exported antibiotics. We exported HCQ.
Yeah.
Which were all later told they are not worthy because remdesivir came into the market. Who spoke for Indian medicine during COVID? Why should I speak for Ayush medicine during COVID? That question comes. Because the allopathic doctors are not allowing an Ayurveda doctor to treat COVID.
Yeah.
The central government gave us permission. I will
Yes.
never forget June 1st, I think, 2020, where I got the direction from the central government. Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, directions we got from... It's a historical way we fought COVID. We had got the direction from the 50-page notebook from... Go and treat mild and moderate COVID. He had given us the permission. All you need to do is take a sign and treat a COVID. How much reassurance? How do you address the 130 crore people?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
We need support from all sources, from all.
When
walks.
Remdesivir spoke, when Gilead spoke, when Bill Gates can speak, why not a Ramdev? The difference between Bill Gates was that Bill Gates ji, was that he knew the route. You look at the professionalism with which these medicines came into market. There were 2 terms which I will never ever forget in life. 1, benefits against risk. 2, humanitarian basis.
Okay.
The Western countries were telling this, you all don't have medicine for COVID. So I will give you medicine because of humanitarian basis.
Yeah.
To whom are you speaking? To this country where Ayush has been in practice since 1 million?
Yeah.
Yes. You understand, this was the term which was used. Why do we need this humanitarianism? When I can treat mild COVID with turmeric, when I can treat moderate COVID with Kabasaru Kudinir, when I can manage, I'm using the word treat and not cure, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that if you're going to take Ayurveda, you're going to live for thousands of years. Unless you're a Siddha or Yogi, unless you know how to take care of your mind, body and sense organs and soul, you can't live. Just because taking some Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah.
Let's be very frank about it. So, moderate COVID with Kabasura Kunnir and severe COVID probably with Samira Panagaras or Tribuna Kirtiras or some Gauri Pashan with arsenic and mercurial medicines. Okay? So, this was the situation where Baba Ramdev ji had advertised.
Yeah.
And Harshvardhan ji, our health minister, he came and launched COVID. Call him and discuss. The Supreme Court can have a discussion. Let's not... See, I understand. Why should we win a case or lose a case? He is not a criminal to have killed people.
Yeah.
He came and he told that he has... I was very happy the day. The first day, Remdesivir told that Remdesivir wasn't medicine for HIV with no 100% efficiency. They launched Remdesivir because of humanitarian basis, because there's no drug available. Let me read the list of medicines which were launched during COVID, those 3 years. These were launched and withdrawn. These were launched and withdrawn because the companies had known the route to patent. They knew the route to do clinical trials. They knew the route to make preclinical trials. They knew the route to go and apply the patent and get a permission from who. So many medicines were launched. Go and look into the website of World Health Organization. Do they recommend it for COVID? No. They never recommend. They have never recommended even Remdesivir for COVID. They've very clearly told that again this word that on humanitarian basis, as we don't have any medicine, as you're going to cut down the hospital stay, you can give these medicines. I'm not blaming the World Health Organization also because they don't have truth. Truth is not one thing which you can do a research and prove it in 6 months. This is the case of truth. People shout at Irish doctors for what clinical trials have you done?
Yeah.
I don't want to do such a clinical trial. A clinical trial which you launch medicines and you try on patients for 4 years and then remove it from market and tell that all those were false. This is not a clinical trial. This even allopathic doctors are not for. You understand? Even World Health Organization is not for. It is devising various mechanisms to change. Let me read the list of medicines.
Yeah.
We started with chloroquine. We started with some antibiotic. Then ivermectin, ritonavir, lopinavir, remdesivir, baricitinib, molnupiravir, imdevimab, casirivimab, tocilizumab, sarilumab, sotronimab, monoclonal antibody, Paxlovid, okay, and tofacitinib, ruxolitinib. कुछ समझा क्या आपको? आपको तो त्रिभुवन की तरह सुदर्शन बताया तो आपको तो गुस्सा आ रहा है मेरे ऊपर. गिलॉय के स्वरस पियो तो गुस्सा आ रहा है. कबस्सर कुड़ीनीर तो तमिल है क्या संस्कृत है ये झगड़ा चल रहा है उधर. बताया समझा अज्ञान किधर है? हमारे इधर ही है. गीता सही तरह से पढ़ा तो ऐसा अज्ञान नहीं होगा. अरे 70 years हो गया. 70 years होने के बाद people come and ask, why am I sick, doctor? What have I been working towards? I don't know why I'm ill. Why didn't I know this before? What other work you have in life than understanding what is health and disease? I would wish the Supreme Court or the Prime Minister and the IMA's head and Ayush head sit together, discuss and finish it off. Don't waste the time. Apollo has already got Ayurved. Don't waste the time of common men. Indians, kindly wake up. You understand one thing. See, people are also angry on Ramdev ji. You sold Giloy for 30 rupees and 20 rupees 10 years back. Now it is 100 rupees. Do you understand what is Ayurveda? So what if he is even going to sell that Giloy for 2,500 rupees? Do you know the effect of Giloy? If you are going to get admitted into an hospital with dengue or typhoid, and if your platelet is just reverting downwards, you are at 18,000 platelet, and you cannot pay 4 lakh rupee for your transfusion. ये गिलॉय के स्वरस लेकर पी जाओ एक वीक के लिए. वही बता रहे, मैं भी रामदेव जी जैसे ही बोल रही हूँ. Take Giloy twice a day. Take papaya leaves for twice a day. 80 rupees tablet you get papaya tablet. One tablet is for 80 rupees. They've patented. Can't I sell Giloy for 50 rupees? Can't I sell it for 10,000 rupees? What's wrong? You are a common man, okay, and you cannot reach 4 lakh. Why don't you spend so much for this worthy herb?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are various worries of common man. I'm just addressing various queries. Okay. See, as we've been discussing Ramdev ji, I've been putting forward discussions for and against Ramdevji or Ayush and allopathy, the thoughts of what is going on in the country and the world. Ramdevji has got also another case on him for filing 4.5 crore rupee worth tax. They've put a fine and they've told that from 2006 to 2011 for all the yoga camps he had done, he has to pay service tax. Who has put the case? It is the central government's agency, which is called CESTAT, Customs Excise Service Tax Appellate Tribunal in UP itself. Do you mean to tell that the government is against Ramdevji? See, this is what the foreign media should understand, and the Western countries which tell that you promote anything which is kashai, which is anything saffron. No, our country is not like that. So the same country which pays, see, our Prime Minister Modi ji had invited Ramdev ji for the Ayodhya Udghatan, and Rajnath Singh ji, our defense minister, he was there for laying foundation of Patanjali's some educational activity last year. You understand? So with whom is he traveling? Whose thoughts are he carrying? He's the conscience of whom? But our Central Excise Agency has put a case on him of 4.5 crore and he's fighting it out. So I'm just trying to share to what our country is. So the laws which we make shall, if he has to pay, he has to pay. Right? So this is what our country stands for. This point I would like to share it with you. I would tell, in a society when you're running trust, you will be subjected to all these questionings. If it hurts you that Baba Ramdevji has told so much of sorry, and why not some other, let it hurt you more, because you have to awaken from this slumber and start speaking for the community. You cannot just put the whole blame game on Ramdevji and sit in the back seat. Okay, there's going to be an epidemic which is going to come. I'm not forcing something. It is how it is, the cycle, because you know how much of pollution is going on and other things. Epidemic shall arise 20-30 years. It has been in our records of Shastra since thousands of years. Charaka Samhita, Sushruta, Tamil, Agastya has written it that you get epidemics once in as cyclic thing. So we have to become proactive. Why am I discussing about, so there is nothing wrong that such cases come, and there's nothing wrong in telling a sorry. It is just going to make him a little more professional. See, 2006 and 2011 is when the Central Excise is asking the amount for 4.5 crore rupee. Okay. How did they come to this estimate? Is it because that he is aiming at 45,000 crore turnover? We don't know. What is the estimate? Why are they going for this? We don't know. So even the government which helped him come up, for the government which he has been supporting, he doesn't hesitate to put a case on you. As you are holding a trust, that is what I told. Medicine is different, business is different, practice is different, sannyasa is different. Laws are common for Indian, whoever you are, that you succeed. See, the Supreme Court's case, while it has asked Ramdevji to ask a sorry, I'm very sure he's going to evolve and come up with better ways to advertise. Are we pushing the Ayush system into a secret drug lobby, is my one question. If you don't want us to advertise and tell about Giloy's benefits, that it's going to increase platelets, which is an observation. I've done probably not research as what the World Health Organization tells. I don't want to make such researches. It is an observation that if I give Giloy, it increases the platelet. I can come and tell in any court. Any Ayurvedic doctor can tell. Okay, if you're not going to scold me like how a parent scolds when you do a mistake, I'm going to come and discuss the sheets. I don't have a research for that. It's an observation. That is every possibility, 99% possibility. Are you pushing the Ayush system into a drug lobby is my question. If so, this is how a society had brought up a system. And if the India wants to push Ayush into a drug lobby, we can't help it. If you want us to be secret, you are blaming us for being secret. When he comes and tells in common man's language, we're using Western medical terms for understanding, then you have to think about it. But Ramdevji, I should tell you, whatever blame game you put, I will also discuss on how he could have supported the Ayush system well. He was the face of yoga. If it was not for him, in this 21st century, yoga probably would not have got this, this materialistic benefits. Yoga's market is at $120 billion is to my knowledge. You had great masters like Krishnamacharya was there and many other Vikram Yoga, so many Yoga Vahini, so many systems are there. They had all given up their life and soul for building up yoga. For this materialistic twist, you needed PM Modi ji and you needed Baba Ramdev ji. We have to accept that. Even if you are responsible for its materialistic twist, you have to pay the taxes, what the Supreme Court tells. They have to fight up the case. There are lots of loopholes. He tells that it was for service. They tell that you have got donation. That's a different case. So let us leave that. How could Ramdev ji be more helpful to the Ayush community? How can he help the Ayush community more is, he tells he has got a market of 70 crores in India and 200 crores across the world. I'm very, very happy about it. He wouldn't have landed in this trouble if he had made Ayush doctors write these prescriptions. You have lots of Patanjali outlets. You have 7.5 million Ayush doctors are there. Just employ them. You need not give them salary. The value of that prescription, the value of that signature, the value of BAMS MS or BSMS MS or BNYS or BUYS, who can give more than Ramdev ji? If you're going to give value to the signature, this problem wouldn't have arisen at all. All he should have told was, he had shown coronal's effect. He tells I had seen a zebra fish research, preclinical research on coronal. It's one of the most accepted models. The research was very well done. You can search for it. It is available in the internet. It was done on an animal model. Another way, see, Ayush, why did he launch coronal and Shwasari kit? In India, the rules, he had followed all the routes for patenting an Ayurveda medicine. He had not gone against Indian rules. Indian rules, rules tell that if you have a combination of, he had put a combination of, I think, Giloy, Ashwagandha and something else for coronal, and for Shwasari it was some other Twakela, cinnamon and other things. He had done an animal study. If you do an animal study on rats and fishes, and he had also done RT-PCR tests on his patients. What else do you need during an epidemic for launching your drug? You understand? That is the rule given in India for Ayurveda. You can start a company. Okay? You can prove the efficacy of Tulsi on some antiviral effect. You can show its animal study. You can show its clinical study. And you can patent that medicine. You may take 10 years. It was launched very quickly in 1 year because Remdesivir was launched in the same time. You know what? Vaccine companies were very, very angry. You still don't have a proven anti-malarial vaccine. They were very angry that COVID vaccine was launched early, with just 6 months or 1 year's work. They were making a hue and cry, telling that, why did you not allow us to launch our malarial vaccine? I've been working for 60 years. You launch a vaccine in 1 year? Similarly, Remdesivir was launched in 6 months, 1 year. I read 30 drugs were launched in just 2 months of research. How many crores did they work on? That's why Ramdev ji also launched. So this issue will not come up again if he's going to employ Ayush doctors. He can become the Ayush voice just as IMA has got its voice. And I'm looking forward for a party in IMA and with Ramdev ji and allopathic doctors, because integration is down the line. So,
in fact, there are many other FMCG companies who fall for the false marketing trap. For example, some of them patent words like fresh, healthy, and then they say that it's not actually, they are not trying to attribute its actual meaning. It's just a word as a brand, they're using it. And they sell whatever they're selling. So when Patanjali is being challenged, everybody should be challenged, in my opinion.
Who is going to challenge? Do you have the money to put a case? I am happy that you're angry. Anybody can put a case and win. We saw that in Bonvita. There were some issues. I don't know how far, what videos I get is true, but if that is so, they have changed. You understand? Don't go and buy products on the shelf, off the shelf, if possible.
Yeah.
Anybody can put a case on anybody.
Yes.
Nobody is stopping you. This is democracy. Fight a case. IMA put a case on Ramdev ji because he had gone a little overboard and started abusing allopathic doctors that they were killing, which I wouldn't want to analyze now.
Yeah.
Death happens. You know that no doctor wants to kill, but death happens out of our hands. It's not in our
Yes.
birth, or death is not in our creation. What was his pain was there were 100 Italian doctors who died in one single week during COVID.
Mm.
They were going haywire and they were afraid in the beginning. So that was what he was. He was just addressing the fear of allopathic doctors. He was addressing the allopathic lobby. But
Right.
what has happened now is you don't want Ramdev ji to use advertisements for his products, which means what should he do? He should just stick on to using Ayush doctors for writing medicines.
Yeah.
Let him advertise his own products. He cannot advertise Ayush medicines. But then who is going to bring this awareness to common man? Then it lies with the central government. It's
Yeah.
not like we are not in China. Indians are very, we are very, very free, right? So we have a will. We will take allopathy. And if you're not going to ignore Ayurveda, even then, allopathy doctors are going to write have been writing Ayurvedic medicine and they still write. See, there are lots of issues regarding whether Ayush doctors should practice allopathy or allopaths should practice Ayurveda. We should look keenly into it. I am against allopathic doctors writing any single prescription of Ayurveda.
Okay.
The common man needs to take Ayush medicines and it can be written only by an Ayush doctor. I wish the central government brings in policies for this. I wish the advantage of Giloy for improving its platelet reached the common man only through an Ayush doctor's signature. Who is going to speak for us? We don't have an association. I'm going to sit in one channel and I keep speaking in channels. Nobody even wants to look into it. But for the legislature and the judiciary should sit in this. Media. What is the media doing? Media on medicine, I'm very, very sorry, in pathetic situation. I remembered reading somewhere, media works by 3 means. Media activism, media goes for trial, or media for judgment. Is there media activism for health? Yes, you write lots of articles on what is for health. But for the wellness of Ayush system or the Ayush doctors, why? Because when the next epidemic comes, it is this Ayush doctor who is going to give you a prescription. Remember that. In 20 years, 15 years, you will get another epidemic. You remember during COVID when Modi ji asked for proposals from the Ayush community, to my knowledge, there were 2,500 or more proposals which every Vaidya wrote from his home telling that I can treat COVID with this prescription. Even I wrote. Not that we were given off funds for these proposals. We showed that we could write. How many allopathic doctors can write? Telling that I can treat this disease with this prescription. It is not possible because they wait for guidelines from World Health Organization and they wait for all these medicines. 2 years of research, you're going to tell that these medicines don't work. You understand? Never can an allopathic doctor, with due respect, write a prescription without any researchers. That's not the case. Ayush Vaidyas are trained because the texts tell you how to approach a condition with the doshic principles. You understand? If allopathic doctors are going to be taught in integration Ayush medicines for 1 year, I'm very sure they cannot pick up all the nuances of Ayurveda. So, the Ashwagandha, you may write it for nutrition or health. If thyroid is there, can an allopathic doctor write it for thyroid? Does he know where to give Triphala or not? Does he know where to give Giloy or not? I may not give Giloy for some conditions. So, I'm happy that India is going towards integration, but it's a request to the Supreme Court and the legislation should be perfect. May the allopathic doctors write allopathic prescription. An allopathic hospital, if he's going to write an Ayush drug, it can be only with an Ayush doctor's signature. It cannot be with an allopathic doctor's signature because I'm very happy. See, the common man, integration is going to benefit allopathic hospitals and common man.
Yes.
I'm very happy, very, very happy about it. What about the livelihood of Ayush doctors?
Yeah.
You're pushing us against to the same British era, to the same Mughal era. Why do you then give us a BAMS, BHMS, BOYS, BNYS degree? What will a common man do? Will he go if he has COVID or some other? I wish we don't get an epidemic. An epidemic comes, an allopathic hospital is there. You will go to an allopathic hospital for your seeking your Ayush prescription, allopathic prescription. There, the problem is you're not just playing with the livelihood of the Ayush doctor. The doctor does not know the complete nuances of Ayush medicine. You understand? And throughout the lifetime, you will be mocking and playing with the Ayush doctor's life. You're not in any way contributing to the welfare of the system, who has been of support directly and indirectly for the past millennia. Okay, it is not enough that you just give them a coat and stet and the veins to practice. There are so many lacunas and loopholes. I am happy that the governments are working towards it, but it needs more coordinated effort from the media, the common man, the allopathic system, and the legislature.
But can both the medicine approaches to medicine work together? Let's say to cure a patient of some condition, can somebody take both Ayurvedic medicine and allopathy?
It has been in use since 75 years. You can ask allopathic and Ayurvedic doctors. We found no issues in a common condition. Allopathic prescriptions and Ayurvedic. I don't write an allopathic prescription, but there are many parents who give paracetamol with the prescription of fever. There are many like diabetes medicine or external treatments alone they take. We have not found any issues. There could be interactions.
Okay.
That is why when I speak, I always tell there need to be proper researchers in allopathy for the disease, for Ayurveda in the disease, and integrated researchers.
Integrated research.
In an emergency, it could become fatal also. I worked in an ICU, allopathic center, while I was prescribing Ayurveda medicines at Anand Hospital, thanks to Dr. Sanjay Jain, an allopath who supports Ayurveda. It would also be news for you that he is the only allopathic doctor who operates on his patients without giving antibiotics. He gives Ayurveda medicines and uses Triphala only for his wash and not an antibiotic liquid for his wounds. He also does bone surgeries, very complicated cases, while using only Triphala wash and giving Ayurveda medicines. There can an allopathic doctor write Ayurveda medicines? You're challenging my practice. I don't fight with Dr. Anand Jain. He knows me. So, allopaths write Ayurveda prescriptions, but allopath should not write an Ayurveda prescription. An Ayush doctor should be made to write. That signature has got a value. That degree has got a value, and it's the responsibility of the Parliament and the Supreme Court to ensure that only BAMS practitioners write Ayurvedic prescriptions or BSMS and MBBS doctors write that prescription.
Wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think you took us through the wide range of issues and also gave us a lot of perspective and clarity on how to look at the various things. Before we conclude, can you share about the Jnana Varshini Trust that you are heading, and also how you are working towards the integration of the various medical approaches and working towards building the Ayush community?
See, Ayush community, as I told, has had very less patronage. And let us understand one way as to how India has been functioning. We had the Varna Ashrama Dharma. Many may feel uncomfortable about discussing it, but that's the truth. There's nothing uncomfortable to feel about it, because India works by these principles. The legal system also works by these principles. Till 12th standard, I never knew that there is a policy called reservation. Only when my friends took up various courses based on their reservation, I knew that, did you belong to a different one? Yeah, we don't know, right? Till 12th standard, we don't know. So, the four Varnas, people just jump, like against the Vedic system, telling that the Vedas only the Brahmins were practicing. And we all know that the Vedas could be studied by the three Varnas. And everybody feels very, very angry and let down that the Shudra did not learn the four. Even myself, when you're young, you read the Gita and speak of Samatvam, and why did he not learn? Of the Ayakalai 64, that is what we tell in Tamil, right? 64 kalas are there, 64 ways of learning things and practicing in life. These were the 64 sciences in which the whole Varna system was working on. I think the first 10 or the first 4 to 6 will only contain the Vedas. The Puranas, the Vyakarana, these will all be there, which the three Varnas can practice. All the other systems, the Shudra Varna can practice.
Okay.
Of the 64 Varnas, the 7-8 branches only were left to the discretion of the first three Varnas. The fourth Varna could practice all the others, almost 50 and odd, which include Navaratnam, or you can flowers, or so many other systems of like making paper or
Pottery, I
wood,
think, is one.
pottery,
Drama,
iron, goldsmith,
yeah.
so many drama, dance, music.
Yeah.
Everything was being practiced.
Hmm.
Of course, there were places where one varna took over the other. There were issues, and it was locally sorted out. It was not a major issue across the country. We had examples. We had people like gurus like Shankaracharya working towards it for in the Kashi. We had Ramanujacharya who was working Tamil Nadu for this, and the Adinams and all the mutts. Then and there, with Sanatanam, they were completely telling how the system should work, how the four varnas should support each other.
Right.
Why am I discussing this? Ayurveda and Siddha system of medicine. The first page, if you open the Samhita, you will find a very beautiful text line which is written, which tells how the four varnas can learn Ayurveda and Siddha. How beautiful were our rishis. Rishis are not just Brahmins. Rishis belong to all caste, right? We have the Veda Vyasa as an example. We have so many other examples, right? They belong to all castes. And certain intercaste marriages also. They have very beautifully mentioned how medicine alone, they never had any secrecy. Medicine could be learnt and practiced by all the four varnas. You had the potter who did the surgery of the nose, of which the British surgery developed from Indian potters. Did we go for patency? They've taken our knowledge. How did you compensate these potters? How did you contribute to these Vaidyas? The potter was a Vaidya. The barber was a Vaidya by himself. You came and told, and you put the Drug and Cosmetics Act on him while you took away all the surgical procedures. You understand? Why am I again emphasizing on this point of four varnas can learn and practice means the four varnas should unitedly work towards the welfare of the system. Because health is not one's own right or duty. Health is the society's right and duty. When Corona came, you just cordoned off group of people, right? Groups of people. Did you speak of untouchability there? No. Okay. That is different. The four varnas, why am I telling? The four varnas have not practiced Ayurveda properly. Let us accept. Did the Brahmana sit and learn? Did the Vaishya sit and learn? Did the Kshatriya sit and learn? Did the Shudra sit and learn? No. When allopathy came, we all immediately, the governments during those times propagated. There are 13 million allopathic doctors and 8 million Ayush doctors. Okay. Why am I telling this? The four varnas have stopped practice of Ayush medicine. Of course, we don't. So, high time these four varnas sit together and work towards the welfare of this system. The success of Ayush system, the Ayush doctors, the success and the health of India towards reaching good health and towards being a dharmic nation or a wealthy nation or India reaching the superpower only lies on this principle. Why? Because you need researchers. I remember Ramdev ji, somebody told how Ramdev ji told that you are the Brahmana, you are the Kshatriya, you are the Vaishya, you are the Shudra. You have to work for yourself. Think while you're a Brahmin. Think while you work. Do business and do service. All these systems, a single Vaidya should work and all the society should support. See, let me tell you, we speak of a proud Bharatiya. We do so much of dharma. What dharma have we done towards Ayush system of medicine or the Ayush doctors? No. There are so many trusts which are working. IMA works for itself, okay? Who work for, you give off lands for allopathic hospitals. You build allopathic colleges. You build allopathic trusts. You give funds for researchers. How much fund are you giving for Ayush doctor? Ayush system. You tell that everything is the responsibility of the government? No. Why am I speaking for Ramdev ji? Is for his valor.
Yeah.
No businessman could stand Remdesivir. Okay. No guru stood for against Remdesivir. See, Remdesivir, I need to give you another point. I'm going off track. How do they fix the value of Remdesivir was, it shortens the hospital stay by 5 days was what he told.
Okay.
Understand? So the 5 days hospital stay is $12,000 or something in US. So he put the value of Remdesivir at 1.75 lakhs. $3,000 was the cost of Remdesivir. That was how it was worked out. You understand? So if a medicine can cut short your hospital stay, he puts the whole rate of the hospital stay on that drug. And in India, it was sold for 5,000, 6,000 rupees. And people were standing in ration queues. That was what Ramdevji was working. So the 4 Varnas should work towards the welfare of the system. Ayush needs lots of support from the society. Our central government is working towards it. It is giving lots of funds, but the funds are not enough. We have to make some authentic researches in Ayurveda, not on the Western parameters. We need to work on understanding what are the Panchamahabhutas, what are the Tridosha theories, what is Shatkriya Kalam, on how the Rishi looked at the soul, the mind. We need authentic researches and we need lots of funding. We need good trust. We are working with IIT for the census. It is just a beginning. If you look at the galaxy, probably it is one speck of dust over there. It's going to take thousands of years of research for coming up with it. So this Gyanavashti Trust, we are our prime aim is we are working with tribals in the villages, Irula tribals. We are looking at their health care. We are offering health camps and iron tests for school students. We are working. We are in a very nascent stage, but our primal responsibility or our motive was to give back the respect to the Ayush community. We are very thankful that Thiru R.N. Ravi, Governor Tamil Nadu, he understood our work and he had given us small funding for our village camps, and he was happy to honor 33 Ayush doctors through our trust. So it was a historical moment. We were very, very happy about this because see, Padma Vibhushan or Padma Bhushan, you give to one Siddha doctor or one Ayurveda doctor.
Yes.
Immediately fight will only come because they gave one Siddha doctor last year. Why did you not give Ayurveda doctor? Because the Ayurveda, Siddha, Sanskrit, Tamil divide is there in Tamil Nadu. People don't understand reality, right? So even then, the government gives only one award for an allopath or an Ayush doctor, which even allopaths you need to probably increase. The trust can take up, awarding such people. So Thiru R.N. Raviji had blessed us. We feel very humbled. We are so happy that the central government and the state government are supportive of our efforts, and we had given the awards, and we wish and we pray that we get the opportunity to honor more physicians and do more researches and do more camps and for the welfare of humanity.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And we hope and pray that your noble cause is taken up by more people from the society and supported. And we look forward to having you once again for another conversation on Ayurveda. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.